Good morning, friends. It's Gord, your hurtin' hippie. It is Friday morning. It's -4, feels like -7, not terrible. A bit of snow today and a high of +3, so some of this snow is going to disappear. And we're looking at a high of 11 in a couple of days, so weird weather, and that's normal for Calgary. I should mention, a lot of you don't know this. Calgary gets weird weather, and there's a very specific reason why. We are the same as Denver, Colorado. We are about a mile high above sea level, and we're at the base of the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. The Rocky Mountains go, like in BC, go way up, and then through Alberta they go for a long time, and then there's Calgary. So the way that the slipstreams work and everything, the weather that moves in from the mountains, all depending on different atmospheric things, can change at the drop of a hat. In Alberta, I have seriously, when I first brought my wife from Riga, I told her about how you can experience all four seasons in one day. And she didn't really believe me until I took her on a trip, a one-day driving trip of Alberta. Went down as far as Red Deer, went across to the Jasper Freeway, which goes from Banff to Jasper, Highway 93, and then south to Banff, and then over to Calgary, and then back up to Edmonton. Well, we left Edmonton about 6 in the morning, and it was sunny and it was beautiful. We didn't go back to Edmonton. We were visiting in Edmonton. That was our trip home to Calgary. Real long trip home to Calgary. We got as far as Red Deer, and it was raining. Quite a rainstorm. Awful, well, spring kind of rain. Then we got into the Rocky Mountains in around Nordegg, Alberta, heading towards Highway 93, and it was snowing. A heavy blizzard snowstorm. Then we got on the Highway 93, and it was almost shut down. Like, we were pretty concerned. And heavy sleet, and you were following the tracks of the vehicle that went before you, and just hoping that those tracks kept on the highway. Then we got as far as Banff, and it started warming up, and by the time we got to Calgary, it was hot and beautiful. So that's just a little story of how I introduced my now ex-wife to Alberta. Cheers. What I was going to talk about today is what a difference a year makes. I was just sitting there trying to think of a subject matter to go by. Speaking of which, please, if you want me to speak on something, say it below. I will do it. And I thought, wow, this time last year, I was concerned. I had just only 2 weeks previous to now, a year ago, gone bankrupt. It was my first couple of weeks with no phone calls from debtors anymore, but bankruptcy doesn't mean you write everything off. It means you consolidate, you look after things. So I had a huge debt, of which I've been working a whole year now, paying it down, and I've got a few years to go. But I had no idea. They told me, you'll be okay going bankrupt. You'll be okay. You'll not only meet your monthly needs, but you'll have a little bit left over for yourself, the way things are supposed to be. And here we are a year later, and I actually have a savings account. I have not missed a single bill payment. I have not had a phone call from a debtor in over a year, and I used to get them every day, a couple times a day. It was horrible. The anxiety that was caused just from that. So I'm not free and clear yet. I can't or shouldn't go out and get debt yet, nor do I. But you know what I think it's done for me, friends? I think it has made it so that I will not get debt. I will not get a credit card. I'll get a prepaid credit card. I do that every once in a while so I can purchase online. And I finally got a PayPal account so I can also purchase online. But I don't need debt. That's one thing. I spent my entire life accumulating debt and trying to pay it off, and here I am, instead of doing that, I'm putting my excess into a bank account, and who knows, maybe I can get myself a vehicle down the road with cash rather than debt. Maybe I can just save up and leave something, a nice little nest egg for my 4 kids and 7 grandkids. I don't know. I don't know what the future brings, but at least for once I'm heading into Christmas and I'm not concerned where the money's going to come from. I'm not concerned whether it'll be a nice Christmas. I'm not concerned whether I can help anybody during the season, which is something I really, really like to do. And you know, that's another area I want to talk about. So remind me, folks, I want to talk about forced philanthropy. Haha, there's a teaser, because I'm not going to talk about what I mean yet. Peace and cheers, friends. Love and harmony. Happy Friday. Look for someone without a smile today, and they need yours. Give it to them. You have plenty.